Hey Susan, how are you? It's taking my computer a minute to catch up with everything else. So bear with me, but happy Friday. This week went by so fast. I feel like every week it's just like going by quicker and quicker. It's crazy. Crazy. I'm hoping the lighting is going to work out for this area. I think I'm going to have to get like a dome light. More stuff I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, good. Yeah, it's almost November. Okay, now my computer is going at its own very slow pace. All right, so we're gonna get started. So happy Friday. We are going to be making a traditional pine wreath for winter. And it's really one that, you know, it's not specifically like Christmas. And it will bring some fresh greenery to our doors or our walls for the winter season. All right, so for today I'm basing this wreath design around this ribbon. I want to say it's Craft Outlet. I'm pretty sure it's Craft Outlet. But I've been seeing some really pretty like spins on holly berries, like whether it's like a light bluish green. And so I like the red and the white on this one. So I figured we will use our easy bow maker and make a big old bow for this. Oh, Diane, so you watched the one, I did a video where I bought a store-bought wreath and then I pull it all apart because really those manufactured wreaths, they're barely even wired. They're not glued for the most part. I mean, usually whenever I check them out, they're pretty cheap. But I haven't had a chance to actually like watch it, so I didn't think it was published, but I mean, I'm glad you watched it. I don't know if the music was crazy, but that video has been stuck inside my camera since like August, like the end of July, early August. And today it finally clicked with me how to use the camera again. So I did a short with like me cleaning up my workbench like I do on the end of the week. And then that one. So now I can get back to adding that extra tutorial. I wanted to try and do one a week. And actually I went to Michael's and I picked up a whole bunch of supplies so that for anybody who maybe isn't buying wholesale or isn't interested in buying wholesale, they're all materials that everybody can source. So that's going to be great because again, I can record them and share them. Oh, awesome. You saw it too, Jerry? I've been like sitting at that computer for a very long time and I haven't watched it. And I remember once I was like, okay, I'll talk while I work. I'm going to be making six-inch loops. I remember once I was in line, 5-inch loops, at the pharmacy, and Leslie emailed me and was like, do you know the beginning of your video is also like in the middle? And I was like, oh my gosh, I was dying. So I was supposed to proof it before I published it, but I think it's probably for the membership group. I'm guessing only you guys can see it. So if I make a mistake, it's not anything that's going to shock you. You're all good people. All right. So I think this ribbon is really going to pop. I think it's going to photograph great. I think it's going to have great curb appeal. It's just something about like how the colors and the design is just very like crisp. Crisp. So we ordered lunch today. I don't know why. Harry and I were just both hungry. So I got like a veggie sub. And then it said like, oh, there's a little coupon for your birthday. Because my birthday is next week. It said like free dessert for your birthday. So I was like, okay. So I ordered a cookie. And the cookie was $10. And I'm like, that's so strange. I mean, it said big cookie. But do you know the cookie? It was the size of a pizza. I mean, I haven't tried it yet. I was like, oh my gosh, that is quite the big cookie. They are not messing around there at Capri's. The music was loud. Okay. Yeah, and the visual is good. Yeah, so I wanted to try something different. I'm going to make 6 4-inch loops now. I wanted to try and do something different because I feel like you don't necessarily need to watch everything in real time, and I also want to use it as a way to kind of like educate consumers, just because like when I see like $1 million home and I see that Marshall special, like especially I think it was last fall, everyone had, it was like these 3 strings with hydrangea blooms on the ends, and it was like $25. And I'm like, you know, if you spend that much on your house and you want your home to feel special, you gotta follow through. Like, you don't want to have the same thing that everybody else has. And you could even go a step further to say, if you buy $1 million, $2 million home, do you want the same thing that's, you know, in a neighborhood that isn't quite as schwanky, like, you know, like mine? So, okay, I can definitely adjust the music. I'll have to figure that out. I mean, editing is not my thing. I actually just hired a virtual assistant. She won't start until the end of the month, but I'm hoping it can help me with stuff like that, and that way I can do more designing and like more things with you guys. So it hopefully is going to free me up, because anybody running a small business knows there is like an endless to-do list, and it's just so hard to get everything done. Like this week I had to make 34 kits for a virtual workshop. Super awesome local company. I don't know how they found me. I don't know how. The internet. They hired me, and I'm going to be doing kind of like as a team building thing. And even though everyone there is also, I think they're all in New Hampshire pretty much, or they're local, they thought it'd be fun to do something virtual. So they're basically going to have an evening on the 29th where the first hour is like a training, and then the second hour and a half is like the wreath making. So the company spared no expense. Every kit comes with like tools, it's got the glue gun, it's got the wire cutters, but I was so nervous I was gonna forget something, because all you need is that one person at home to be like, I don't have this, like I can't do what everybody else is doing. All right, I'm gonna make one other long tail, and I'm gonna make a button about 3 inches. Love me a juicy button. And I was so nervous, and my dad helped because he is just a rock star. He is Employee of the Month again. Kiki, I don't know where her head is, but she is not Employee of the Month. I don't know if she ever will be, really. So yes, I was so afraid that I was going to forget something important. And do you know that right before I left, we were going to leave like 20 minutes early. Right before I left, I decided to read through the emails again, and I realized that I had asked if she wanted like a letter included in it, and would you know that she did, and I didn't print it. I don't know how the email it just got lost. So, you know, I feel like no matter how hard you're trying, and that's all you can do. It's like, it's just hard to do everything and feel like you're doing anything at 100%. So this VA is really, really nice. I think it's gonna work out well. We'll see. See. All right, so I'm just spreading out my loops, and with these big bows, I've been using the zip ties just because, one, I feel like they're a little bit easier to secure. I mean, they really definitely don't need to be this long. Being this long complicates it, but and then I just want to make sure the loops are really, really tight. And even though I am going to end up wiring this anyways to put it on a pick, I still feel like this is the way to go. All right, so we're gonna go and dovetail these. So if anybody caught the TMI Gifts Live the other day, let me know what you think. And also let me know, like, are nighttime ones better? Because I know Fridays, I like ending on a Friday because it's just fun to kind of like, it's a nice way to sign off the week, but I want to make sure that it's like serving our wonderful community, because it's a nice chance for us to connect. All right. So I am going to clip this. And then I'm going to use a piece of floral wire because I am going to put it on a pick. Just give this a stir. You look like you're not sure yet. As I was editing too, I forgot that the day that I made that, redid that wreath, Riley came down, and so I took it out because I was like, it's gonna petrify people, but all of a sudden, like, all you can see is like Steve's face floating in front of the camera. I'm like, no, that's gotta go. That'll be for something else. We'll give Steve his moment in the spotlight, but not in the middle of a video. Hey Leslie, how are you? I was actually talking about you because I accidentally published a video right before coming on here, and it gave me flashbacks of when I was like in line at the pharmacy and you told me that something was like majorly out of order. So I haven't watched it yet, and I have some tweaks to make, but it just made me laugh because I'm like, you're good at catching things. You're very detail oriented. Sometimes I'm just like, I just want to be done with something, but for this I like use music and I use different speeds, so I really did need to check it first. So we're doing a nice traditional Christmas or winter themed wreath. And you're gonna see just, you know, again, like how I had my like recipe with ficus. I have a pretty standard thing with my winter designs. So the core to it, I always think, is like having some nice, like high quality greenery. Believe it or not, this is from Joann's last year, and this is like money. Like I have not seen anything else as pretty as this. They do not have it this year. I'm hoping maybe it comes out, but I had to order my workshop supplies, and so I had to use something. They have something like this. It's nice. It's just not as nice. No, you weren't rude at all. Or maybe it wasn't you. Someone had emailed me and was totally polite, and I was totally relieved. Like, that's a good friend. It's like, you know, a friend who tells you, like, you have, like, spinach in your teeth. They don't just sit there and are like, well, she'll figure it out at some point. All right. I forgot the wreath. Kind of an important detail. I don't know how far I was going to get without the wreath. So step one of wreath making, make sure that you have your wreath. All right, I'm going to make a quick loop on this. Just some leaves to get rid of, nothing big. Everyone's Christmas stuff is like totally blowing me away. I have been I've been tied up trying to get all of the things ready for the virtual workshop. And it was like I try to chip away at it a little every day. Do 35 bows, you know, there's so many things to cut. A lot. So next week I plan on like just being down here and just really cranking things. I went to Home Goods the other day, or Home Sense, and oh my gosh, when I tell you I found the prettiest things. I don't know that it was the most cost effective for selling, but I couldn't resist, so I have to show you guys that. I also have been buying velvet ribbon, like it's going out of style. I don't know. I'm pretty much buying like all the colors, and out of all of them, surprisingly, I think the one I love the most, or the one I'm most eager to use, is like this chocolatey brown, and I think it's gonna pair really well with like some blues and some golds and coppers. It was something different. I don't know. I really like it. I ordered some black velvet ribbon that'll be coming in, and that's because I found these huge bells at Home Goods, and they all have black velvet. They're all hanging by like black velvet ribbon. So it's like, ooh, this would look so nice with like a very large black velvet bow, and then some gold accents. So that'll be here in another day or two, but I don't know. Is anybody else like going crazy with supplies? I'm trying not to. I'm trying to at least, if I'm buying stuff, like just buy a bunch of the same and not like be totally scattered. And that way, if you're asked to like redesign something, you actually have the materials instead of like going out shopping and then you know how it goes. You go out shopping for one thing. I went out yesterday looking for a dog bed for Bruno, and I came home with like $200 in clothes, no dog bed, some reindeer, some bells, everything except for a dog bed. They didn't have it, but it was also like literally the last thing I even looked for. So Bruno ate his bed. Hey, Donna. So yeah, I got this painting at Home Goods. Yeah, Home Goods. And so I re-wallpapered, because the other one I just wasn't feeling it. It was very shadowy. I think when I do get an extra lighting thing, this will seem less shadowy too. But I thought the birds paired well with the girl, because the girl is just kind of like, you know, when you see something inspiring, like you can kind of envision yourself there. That's how the painting makes me feel. My daughter does not like the painting, but her room is, she's a history buff, so she's got all like Victorian 1800s artwork. So I was like, well, I'd rather have her than a bunch of people that I know are dead on my wall. I said, to each their own, so you don't have to like it. All that matters is that I like it. Oh, you're waiting on things to arrive, Diane? Oof. Ribbon for the holidays, yeah. I know, I realize like I have to just use what I have. Like I should not be buying any ornaments. I said I wasn't gonna buy any bells. For fall, I said I wasn't gonna order any pumpkins, and I did. Diane, where did you order from? Because I feel like, well, Pioneer, I don't know why Pioneer doesn't sell more wintry things. It bums me out because that would be my go-to. I almost used Jacobsen's. I might still go to Jacobsen's in Boston because their pine products are beautiful. Like I think their main business is live florals. So everything there is just very high quality. I'm a little afraid I'm gonna go nuts if I go there though. Oh, okay. And did you get your stuff, or are you still waiting? Because I feel like I got some stuff at Craft Outlet. I can't say it's the most cost effective. You know, like once you break it down for like what you're gonna price it at for retail, for resale, I mean. but their stuff usually ships out in like a day or two. I feel like TMI is the same thing, TMI Gifts, which I'm going to get this Nutcracker, and I noticed they have some really pretty swags, which I keep talking about swags and not making them. So right now I'm just tucking up the tails because I just don't want to damage the bow with glue. You're waiting on Joanne, yeah. I don't know about you, but Joanne sends me everything like piecemeal, which can be frustrating. No, it is frustrating. And sometimes they'll send like a huge box with just like one stem in it. So this is actually from Joann's this year. Okay, so this is like the kind of bush that I like to work with and just break up, because everything individually is just really nice quality. If I can separate it. So it has like some berries, it has some eucalyptus. I always wonder how much companies spend on all of these stems that are more of a pain than anything else. Like, for the most part, they get thrown out. They're hard to cut. I'm like, I wish there was something like less industrial. Hey Nessa, how are you? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like to be in a space that inspires me. And this does. This is giving me the business to break it apart. Guess we're gonna go with short stems here. So if you buy from Joann's in bulk, like if you do the Joann Plus, I think you probably need an EIN, but their deals are great. So like these, when you buy them in bulk, end up being like $4.55 each, and you can just see how much is on them. I am so glad I didn't get these for my workshops, because I would never be able to cut these up. Yes, I have. So I got a bunch of things from Michael's, and because I want to start doing, on Etsy, I'm going to start selling some digital products, which are basically just like tutorials. And then there'll also be videos that I'm just going to share with people in the membership group. I kind of had gotten away from that because of my camera. But I thought their stuff was okay. I wish their pine was a little bit thicker. Like I feel like they usually have something kind of like this, and what they had was kind of flimsy, but what they did have that I literally swore out loud about, it's right here, so I'll grab it. Are these things. Like they are almost like crystals or something. They're super pretty. And I literally dropped an F-bomb, and like somebody was in the aisle with me. I was like, sorry, I'm really passionate about craft supplies, apparently. So I wonder if their stuff is just not all in yet, because I feel like Joann's is like, they're very slow to like actually come out with their products. So Joann Plus you have to apply for. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, I think that's how you apply. It's been a while. What I will say is the program used to be like amazing, and now it's really pared down quite a bit. But I just got all new tools for my workshops, and they had like really nice wire cutters that went from like being $13. I mean, I had to order 48 of them, but some of these workshops have like 30, 40 people, or they're expected to. So they went from like $12.99 to like $3.50. It's definitely worth looking into. It's just, it's kind of hit or miss. You have to check on each individual item and see if, like, when you scroll down all the way, if it says, you know, if you buy X number. Oh, this one's coming apart. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Friday, Rita. Hello. So glad you could join us. So for everyone or anybody that has an Etsy shop, does everybody have your shipping under $6 so that your listings are active? Etsy has messed something up in Q4, which is like supposed to be our time to shine. And if your listings are above that price, then Etsy has pretty much made it so when somebody signs on their iPhone, they don't see it. So when I looked at my shop, the only thing I had were 3 bows, because all of those had shipping under $6. This is way more time intense than I anticipated. The other thing that I did find at Michael's that I thought was helpful were some of their fall things. You know, like if you look at this, like it's got, you know, like lighter pieces of greenery, whether they're like sage or eucalyptus. Some of their fall stuff that's really marked down could be used as like a mix. Just kind of got that like juniper berry coloring to it. So I did like comb through there and find a few things. Oh my gosh, this is like a workout. This is more than I anticipated. Okay. I am going to start at the bow. Just make sure it's all filled in. What is nice about these are like all the different types of texture that you're gonna get. Definitely should not be that hard to break down. Yeah, Etsy's response for the glitch was like, look on an Android, which is like the equivalent of saying like, go get another phone while we figure this out. Like that doesn't help anybody. Balance this. I've chopped this all up differently. Juniper over here. You blew your budget. I know. I impulse bought like cute things yesterday at Home Goods, and I'm like, this is not where I should be buying anything for like resale purposes. You know, and as much as I love Craft Outlet, and I feel like their ribbons, like hands down, yes, you can definitely like make money and price your items like reasonably. But like some of the things I bought, like the swags, as pretty as they are, they're just expensive. I mean, it's nice when some of the work is like maybe already done for you, but not at that cost, because then when you try and pass that cost off to a potential buyer, it just seems too high. It's really hard to stick to a budget. I mean, and it's also, it's hard to predict. I get real like supply anxiety, so when it came to like those peony and hydrangea bushes that I use for my workshops, I bought like 200 of them and I used 160, but I still have 40 left. So like I think that's over $400 of unused materials, and like I'll definitely use them next year, but I just kept thinking, what if I don't have enough? Like, you know, I just need to get as much as I can of the same thing, and great materials, but I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind that money back in my bank account right now. It's scary when you have like big things out, you know. I have not sold, first of all, I have only sold one thing this entire week, and it was a Halloween wreath, which I think I have marked down to 50% off on Etsy. Halloween's just not my thing. I'm just not good at it. I think you can feel it. I'm not good at it. Like my heart's just not in it. And I have not sold anything for Christmas. I do have a few things that I haven't listed yet, but I don't know. I'm curious if anybody is selling for Christmas. Actually, I feel like on Instagram, I have seen some people have sold some arrangements. So, yeah, has anybody made any Christmas or winter sales yet? My workshop tickets are selling, which is great. Because, again, that's like a hit or miss thing. Like, I stocked up. I think I spent, I don't know, maybe like $3 grand in supplies, and then you just hold your breath. But luckily, they are selling. And I have my first winter workshop next week at someone in town has like the perfect house for hosting, and she and all of her nurse practitioner and medical friends, they all get together, and it's a fun time. And I just feel like people kind of skipped fall this year. Everyone is really Halloween, like, they're just so into Halloween. I feel like there wasn't enough space for fall. And someone did explain it to me that, like, she's a big Halloween person, and so she doesn't want to decorate for September, pull everything down for October, and then put everything back up. So I don't know if there'll be any type of, like, spike once Halloween's over, if people are going to say like, well, I really don't have anything at this time. I mean, because you still have Thanksgiving. Like, it's one of like our major holidays, and it's one of our like happy, like, you get to see your family and friends. A lot of people are hosting. So I'm hoping that there will be some type of surge. That is like really probably just me trying to talk myself into it, but neglected back there. I don't know why. I like these pine cones, but I don't know why. I'm not a huge fan of these. Man, I guess I don't dislike them. I just don't love them. Oh, congrats. Susan sold her first Christmas wreath yesterday. Awesome. And do you sell on Etsy? Because I do feel like Etsy sellers are planners. Which means it's also a good idea, like, if, you know, to just use that share feature on Etsy to have things share directly to Pinterest. And then Pinterest can link it directly back to your listing. My glue is like very temperamental. It's like too hot and too cool. All right, so these juniper, they are from Joann's. They're pretty. Definitely give them a shake, because when I took them out of the box, a lot came off. And even like when I've been moving them around in the workshop. So obviously we don't want them falling off on a client. They're not going to be too thrilled. So it's better just to like try and force them to fall off when they're in your possession. See, some are just falling off. All right, and I don't know, these might be from Pioneer. I don't know where I got these berries, but these are from last year. And I know what you're saying about like, you just can't resist things. Like I have so many like sparkly things, and I'm like, I just need to like stay in my workshop and like not come up until I've done like 4 wreaths in a day. Like I just don't do anything else. Don't do social media. Don't do, you know, stay off of social media, period, would be helpful. But like don't do anything else but design and get these things moved along, because it's just money sitting there. And that just doesn't feel good. And it doesn't even deter you from, like, not buying more. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'll show you guys at the end these reindeer that I got yesterday. It's so stupid. I mean, like, I shouldn't have bought them. I know I shouldn't have bought them, but then I felt like if I left them, I would have just been thinking about them, and, you know. It's all self-control, and I don't have a lot of it when it comes to supplies, because everything's so pretty. Like, again, this thing, I was like, I don't have a plan. I mean, I'll use it, but I just was like, I've never seen anything like it. I need to have it. The velvet ribbon, like, I should probably be buying it a little bit slower, but I feel like every time I want to make something, I'm like, oh, I don't have that color, but I have like 8 other colors I could use, and I'm like, no, it just has to be something I don't have. Oh, and I wanted to tell you guys about Coupon Cabin. Does anybody use Coupon Cabin? Yeah, I know, Brittany. It's like, sometimes like the juices are just flowing, and you're just like, you can make things like so effortlessly. And like for me, it's like I'm singing, I'm like hanging out, like I'm doing what I would be doing if it wasn't work. Like I love it. And then sometimes it's just like, you feel like you're like, you have to force creativity, and it doesn't always feel good, and it doesn't flow. But like on the days that it does flow, it's like, amen to that. Like when you are done with your work day and all you want to do is keep working, like that's to me like a perfect day. Keep, yeah, buying stuff we don't need. Oh. I wouldn't want to leave you alone. I would be sad. Like I was saying, I like ending my week on with this. Leslie, we gotta figure out our Zoom call. I'm excited about that. And then we're going to be announcing on Monday the random winner of our Christmas challenge, which everyone's done such a good job. I feel like I've been mailing it in. Like I have been posting, like, you know, installation things in my pencil tree. I'm like, I will be doing more. Oh, so Coupon Cabin is this thing. You can download it on your phone, but like for me, I do my like bulk shopping on my computer, so I only have it on my computer. It's kind of annoying because every store you go to, it flashes, like it tries to find coupon codes. But what is good is that it gives you a percentage of your cash back. So when you shop at Joann's or Michael's, it gives you like 2% back, 3% back. I think I've been doing it for like, I don't know, 6 months, and it's given me over $100 back. It just gives you Amazon gift cards. So again, it's gonna haunt you a bit. It might not be worth it. It might annoy you more than help. But I like it just because I'm gonna spend money at these places anyways. So to get like a little kickback is just a little bonus. See, like all these berries, not good. Juniper berries. Okay, I've got to get my staple gun. So I wanted to put this over here, but this is a very sad wreath. So I want to put a bow on it. It's going to be velvet, so we are using up some of the velvet. So I do 3 to 4. It depends. Riley has a tree that goes, like, we have like one of those, I don't know what you call them, but like there's like above my front door, up above where the second floor is like a huge window. So she has a tree that can go there, but one at the top of the stairs. Where's the other one go? Where is the other one? I think it's in the front hall. And then I do my main tree. And my main tree, I finally gave in and I just use an artificial tree. I tried to fight it for so long, but it really is pretty messy. Nice. So I'm going to make this little bow. I watched something today. It was on YouTube. And it was somebody who kind of made like, I don't know, they showed snippets of somebody making like 20 different wreaths in an hour or something. It was very interesting. I don't know if it was like from another country, but they would use like a wood base and then from like just a wood circle. And then from there, they would like glue everything on, whether it's like the pine and whatever. And the person made bows in like the weirdest way, but they were so pretty. Which brings me back to, I feel like creative people, they just find their own way of doing things. Like, it gets you to the right result, even if you don't quite understand it. All right, so, let me see. Put my glue gun on. Let me get my staple gun and I'll get my reindeer too. I'm so excited. I mean, come on. And her, like, Jaja, I couldn't help it. They were way too much money for something that's gonna go on a wreath, but like, they're like the prettiest thing. They are so sparkly. I had to have them. Aren't they so cute? Up. Yeah, last year I was able to do some installations. I mean, one was at my parents' house. Tough customer there. But I was also able to do one at a local restaurant. It's like a pretty popular one, so that was a good gig. I'm hoping to find some more like local businesses that I could do something like that in. I made this bow in such a weird way. Alright, we'll see if this is gonna hold. They're distracting me. They're so cute. And if anybody has any like requests for things, I know there's some things I'm gonna work on teaching myself, but if anybody has any requests of like things that we want to do, also, at least for this month, I have that unlimited Zoom because I'm hosting that virtual workshop. So if people wanted to like pick a night, we could all Zoom and just like design whatever. It doesn't have to be a kit or anything like that. Just like a night to maybe do a theme using your own materials, like something like that. If people are open to it, I am definitely open to it as well. Thank you, Brittany. Oh my gosh, Brittany, your mom is so pretty. Oh, I mean, Brittany is beautiful, so I'm not surprised, but on Facebook, I saw a picture, like, for her mom's birthday. Oh my gosh, she is so pretty. Melissa's mom, too. It sounds like I'm checking out moms now. I don't know. All these beautiful moms. It's like, when you think that the Golden Girls are supposed to be 50 years old, like, it kills me. Like, compared to what 50 looks like now, it's like night and day. All right, so I am gonna use zip ties on the top and bottom. I am using 1/4-inch thick staples. Oh my gosh, Damon has like an electric staple gun. I want one. I'm a little afraid of it, but I want it. I did not know those existed. I also want a pick machine, but they're so darn expensive. The only ones I've seen, they're all like almost $300. Absolutely, Leslie, we can do that. Do a Q&A Zoom. Yeah, we don't have to be making anything. It's like totally what people want to do. Like, as much as I love like working from home and stuff, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like really behind on like the news or like things like that, you know, like when you have coworkers that you talk to all the time, you know, it's just a different feel when you're kind of a little bit on the isolated side. I'm going to repeat on the bottom just to make sure it stays in place. This sled I have had for years. I don't even know where it came from. Like, I don't even recognize the sticker. So I am proud of myself for using something old, finally, for a design. And then let me just see. Yeah, Leslie, I'm going to do a poll and see, like, what a good time, like, what, I'm assuming it should be night for everybody, like, what night would work. And then I think what I can do, because thinking of how Julie runs her Zooms, is that even if someone doesn't have access to Zoom or they don't like Zoom, I think I can just live stream it in our Facebook group, right? I just have my phone doing it and then I'd be on the laptop. So yeah, it'll be something people can watch back if they're not able to join. I have, Ashley luckily is going to practice with me for that virtual workshop, because for that's another thing where I need to have film with the phone and then be controlling it with the laptop. So that should be interesting. All right. So what do we think? Very traditional. I think she's sweet. Let me look back. I feel like she just needs like something here. Let's do some juniper. You found a pick machine on eBay and it was like brand new. That's good to know. Oh, hey, I'm blind, I'm so sorry. Hey, Gladys, how are you? Thank you for the kind words. Thanks for joining us. I love Virginia. I tried to get my daughter to go because of the wineries. We stayed at Stetson a few years ago, and oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful out there. That was my only time I've been to Virginia, but I absolutely loved it. Throw in some of these little extras here. Bring you there. Alrighty, let's see. I'll trim my tails, but these are wreaths that don't require a lot of cleanup at the end, which is always nice. So just like with my all the other seasons, I'm still gonna spray this with the UV spray. Keep our greens from turning blue. Yes, so thank you guys for tuning in with me. I always enjoy ending the week. If you haven't already and you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. I know it's salesy. I feel weird every time I say it. But yes, I would love to grow the community. So yes, hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this. And let's see. Kate, you found one for $75? I have to go on eBay. Thank you, Diane. Thanks, Nancy. You like the sled? Awesome. Oh, Ashley's amazing. Yes. Ashley is my wreath bestie, and we just vibe very well together. And we met in Julie's group, so it's nice. And here I feel like everybody's making connections too, so I love that. Kate, I'm going to have to look. $75 for a pick machine is great because I can totally see that being something that you think you're going to use and then you don't, you know? So, all right. All right, guys, I am going to be following up in the Facebook group about the Zoom, and I hope everyone has a great weekend, and thanks for watching.